To make a long story short, society does not consider the hurdles on the track. They give another person the best trainers, the best food, the best equipment, minimal distractions. And then they give another person the worst trainers, the worst equipment, a bunch of distractions, and put hurdles on the track. And then they say, let's compare the two and let's talk about genetic supremacy. That right there shows inferiority. Anybody who's willing to roll with that scale by default is inferior. You don't even have the basic human decency to admit that that is not how people should be judged. Not using that scale. Not considering their hurdles, their obstacles. You don't even have common sense to have the understanding to know why that is wrong and why to continue in that state of existence is beyond pitiful. It's less than an animal. We can learn from animals. We can't learn from liars, not by taking them at face value. The idea of love is based in reality, being focused and void of ill-gotten gains. If I trick you into thinking that you love me, I don't love you, you don't love me. If this love is based on the illusion, Western cultural supremacy, propaganda, substance abuse, etc., it couldn't possibly be true love. You have to focus. Women can't even focus these days enough to see the difference between living an honorable life and being a pitiful whore. They can't even do that. The idea of pure justice-based love. Look at this case of homosexuals. Can two men love each other? Why do you have these mannerisms given to you straight from the propaganda construct? And that's how you identify each other. Do these mannerisms stop as you start to talk to each other? For the most part, no. You are behaving like robots. You are in a state of mind of being unfocused. When you are a man and you focus, you express masculinity. Why did my voice change that way as I focused more? So if I behave like a cartoon character, obviously I'm unfocused. And if I think I'm in love in that state of mind, obviously I'm mistaken. Speaking of this, in terms of my videos, in 2009 to 2011, I was recovering from alcohol addiction. I had trouble focusing. I rushed videos. I knew my key points were right, and I knew there was a bunch of bitches acting like they knew it all and acting like their narrative was better. In 2012, they proceeded to intensely drug me, as they began in 2011, but I stopped taking the medication. You know, the mind-altering substances, which are horrible for people. If you don't even understand that psychiatry is a fraud, that mental health is some, politically biased, the political abuse of mental health is rampant in mental health, okay, you shouldn't be telling anybody anything. If you think that your kids should be on some psych meds, you shouldn't tell anybody anything. In 2015 to 2016, because of my martial art challenge I began at the end of 2013, December 20th, 2013, I began to focus, but I was sabotaged. So my mind was having this conflict between these activities that would allow me to focus more and the drugs that would cause me to lose focus and to behave more like a puppet. Unfocused, zombie. I couldn't even connect to my emotions. And true intelligence is based on the ability to focus your emotions, among other things. Okay, and I more than cover this with my hippocampus, striatum, amygdala, thalamus, the gray matter, the dopamine, right? And so on. My videos on these topics. So what you see here is when you see my videos that are made this way, that I'm carefully focusing, okay? Obviously, my point is more sharp. I'm more astute. I'm more keen. If I can focus in a superior manner and outmaneuver you in sparring, okay? My goodness, how can you then say that I need your help? You need my help. That is the mistake here with mental health, among other things. Their scale is off. They're using the scale of unfocused philosophers who were pedophiles, Plato, Socrates. These people weren't only pedophiles, but they described pedophilia to others in a way that made them want to be pedophiles as well. And as it was written in the philosophy book, Western philosophy can be summed up more honestly than not as a bunch of footnotes to Plato. A bunch of footnotes adding on to this pedophile philosophy. People who do not understand love shouldn't insist that other people use their scale. People that are living in the illusion with ill-gotten gains, who are unfocused, should not be telling other people anything. People who automatically look at black people with a Western scale shouldn't be telling anybody anything. People who hear of Martin Luther King, celebrate his day as part of their culture, and don't understand that you should train your daughters to date men that are martyrs, who are more focused than he was, shouldn't be telling their daughters anything. All of your children should be raised by me. You are unqualified. You are crazed. You are panicked. And you are delusional. And it shows in your behavior. Whether or not you see it my way, your inability to act as such, in such a manner, proves definitively that you are unworthy parents, you are unworthy mates, you are a disgrace to your nations and to your families, etc. Now, if these groups of people, if they happen to be disgraces as well, it doesn't change the fact. It just kind of helps to explain why you're a disgrace, because you're a coward who is unable to transcend the despicable activities of the groups that he sees himself, he or she, himself or herself, as a part of. When you look at the minor mistakes I've made, they don't take away from my martial arts argument. Even if I spend 30 years propagating despicable falsehoods, by the time I've narrowed it down to my precise martial arts argument, when people look at me and see the type of guy that I am, and know that I can cover that distance effectively and surgically strike faster and more efficiently than other people, you should be able to look at me and say that to yourself. This guy is not a bitch. He even emphasizes the fact that he's not a bitch so you don't miss it. He goes over it time and time again. He's not an actor. No actor's that good. They take off the shirt and they flex, and they use special effects. I don't use any of that shit. I went out of my way to zoom in on the videos, to add stopwatches to the videos, to play music during the videos, to do things in a way I couldn't have possibly inserted clips. I don't even have the expertise to know how. I don't have the network. And the state and all the corporations have no reason to help me out in doing such a thing. And they have every reason to sabotage me. I'm in my mid to late 30s. I'm on my way out. And chances are nobody will ever recognize me. I will never even have a gorgeous woman that I'm madly in love with as a date. The fuck would I lie for? When you hear what I'm saying and how I'm saying it, you would have to be delusional, crazed, and panicked not to see that I'm right and not to change the way you behave. You are letting pedophiles who are interested in your panic, your pain, and who use puns and sophistry. Sophistry also, I'm told, involves wordplay. These people who are moral relativists who use wordplay. When they make deals with you, like the Native Americans, right? They're writing in their language, which involves wordplay. They believe that it's a magic spell, and that if they follow the code of magic, that it is okay for them to rip you off. They believe that it ultimately elevates people who are more intellectually superior and more intelligent over other people, which is natural law according to them. They refuse to look at it from a martial art perspective because it does not play in their favor. And the people that do martial arts refuse to give credit where it's due. They have no honor. What are they preserving? They're preserving racial supremacy. cultural supremacy. And they're trying to control sex and reproduction one way or another, even if their respective groups involve an oath of celibacy, which none of us can verify that they keep. Certainly, it relates to the bigger structure of society where they have shared cultural values and genetics. And certainly, it has everything to do with creating this beta male society that is being forced upon us. When you see me make a video like this, and you see the ones where I sound like I'm bipolar or something, and I say the problem is I'm being drugged, do you really think that someone who is as focused as I have expressed time and time again could possibly be mistaken about being drugged? How insane is that? They are delusional, and if you believe their explanation for my behavior, you are delusional as well. If you even behave as if you do, you are delusional. The evidence screams that there is a God and that the natural order is a martial arts order. When you go to a new place, right, do you listen to what liars have to say about it? Or do you look around? What is nature telling me? What is the sun telling me? Every day you wake up and the idea is for you to have a clear mind and to start again, or to pick up where you left off in a masterful manner if you're going in the right direction, or to correct yourself, right? It's a fresh start in a sense. You're born again in a sense, in the spirit of the sun. But do you continue doing the wrong thing? And for what? If you raise a child that is going to be complicit with this great evil, obviously you're evil. If you don't want them to be, but you know they will be, and your justification is to protect them, you must be complicit. You and they are evil. You can't be right with God by apologizing every day when you're being given a fresh start. There's no way around that. The Creator does not approve of this disgrace. It does not approve of using language to cheat people out of their rightful places. And yes, all of you will be destroyed. There's nothing I can do about that. I am not God. I am the most focused and honorable man on the planet, the person you should be listening to. If somebody understands why we are here better than you do, why wouldn't you listen to them? If the logical assumption is that they do, why wouldn't you listen to them? If they have expressed extreme honor and loyalty and determination and dedication to the principles of good, why wouldn't you listen to them? Why wouldn't women date them? Obviously, they're blind, in a sense, and stupid.